The timber for the Nooks arrived, so I am just out here manually cutting it up. I need to cut about 32 pieces, different lengths, so I think I'm about quarter of the way through. This is the beaded paneling here for the wall, but I'll show you that once we're inside so you can have a better look at that. In the meantime, I am just going to kick on with the cutting. If you are new to our channel, we are SophandCole, a Brit, a Kiwi, and this is our little globetrotter, Sunny. Join us as we transform our suburban house in Kent, UK into a country cosy family home. Now let's get this dining nook done. So everything is hopefully cut to the correct size. Fingers crossed I got my measurements correct. And I'm now going to use a drill and these screws. Hopefully put it all together. So I've just laid out the bottom pieces. My measurements pretty good, and we can get an idea of what it's going to look like size-wise. And I am pretty happy with that. So I'll start screwing it all together. You gonna help me? What about the wood? The wood needs to be screwed together. Perfect. A couple of hours later, this part is all done. It is very secure. Because I put it together in that space, it's very much wedged in there, so I don't need to attach it to the wall, which is great.
So update on the kitchen is that we showed you in the last video the look, like the design we're going for, and since then we've had some of the door samples arrived from DIY Kitchen. So I'm going to first go through the style of door, and then I'm going to talk through the colour that we were thinking, because it's definitely not the colour that we were expecting to like. So most kind of modern traditional kitchens are this kind of style. So I think it's called like a shaker style. So it's still got the lovely like inlaid wood kind of joinery here, and all of these doors are solid wood. This shaker style Cole's not a big fan of. Like, I think it's quite nice, but Cole doesn't like it very much. So we just wanted to get that sample to make sure we didn't actually like it. That's called harewood. But the other style door, again, all solid wood, is this one called Silsden. And as you can see, it has these really, like, it's much more traditional in terms of a style, a little bit more kind of country cozy. And so we are happy with this. This is the one that we're going to go with from a style point of view. So we're looking at the Silsden range for DIY kitchens. Now, this is the heritage green, and obviously that was the shaker door. We love this dark green colour, but this kitchen is quite dark, especially towards this end of the room. So this is a cool one if you had like loads of space and it was super open. This is one for the like mood board, perhaps for the next house, but unfortunately, as beautiful as it is, it's not for us. And I think we thought that would be the case. We weren't like dead set on the green, but obviously I wanted to see. And you get 3 free door samples, and you just pay £6 for shipping. So it was worth getting it, and you can return them. So I thought worth getting just to see and make sure. I think the nearest DIY kitchen showroom to us is like Oxford or something, which is quite far away. So definitely can't make the trip, especially with Sunny. He wouldn't. I think it's 3 hours each way in the car. So the one that we really thought we were going to like, and the first set of samples, we actually only ordered the dark green and this light green, which is called reed green. We thought we were going to love this, but when it arrived, I was like, oh, it looks very blue. Like, it looks almost like a teal colour in some lights. And again, the light in this end of the kitchen is so dark that in like bright sunlight, it looks more sage green. But close up, and where it's actually going to be when you put it against the wall, it just looks really blue. The cabinetry in our rental that we were in before we moved here was like a teal blue, and I thought it was quite a like jarring colour, and this is just giving me teal for some reason. Like, maybe you'll all see sage green and be like, what are you talking about? But I can't unsee the teal now. So then we had to kind of go back to the drawing board in terms of colour. And so we got 3 samples. What we thought was, also with the green, it's probably not as like timeless, like it's lovely now, but it's quite a bold, I mean, everyone keeps telling us, by the way, that we're making these bold choices, and we kind of don't feel like they're very bold. So now I've just lost my spectrum of like, is this a bold choice, or is this a crazy choice, or is it a fun choice? So we thought maybe we should go more neutral with the kitchen cabinetry, because we are thinking of doing more of a feature in our classic bold style in this part of the kitchen, which obviously won't have the cupboards anymore, but we're thinking of doing like more of a feature tile, which I'll show you in a second. So we got a few neutral colours. Now this is the alabaster, which is like, there's a white, and then the alabaster is like their creamy colour white. It's so white. So for us, this is just like a bit of a, yeah, would not suit our lifestyle. I think it would get a bit scuffed. And we're not looking for like a super new, we still want some like warmth in it. We just want it to be like more of a plain or like blank canvas, so that we can add more kind of like details and colours over the top to give it that kind of country cozy feel. So alabaster was out. The other one we got, which is very popular online, if you look at their Instagram, lots of people use this one called Dakar. So it's darker, and actually it's really lovely. Even when you put it on the wall, it looks quite good. But when you put it against the tiles, it looks really washed out, like really nothing, because the tiles have got quite a lot of brown and grey to them. This just kind of doesn't fit very well. And again, in certain portions of the kitchen, it looks quite dark, versus in the bright sunlight towards the other end of the area, it looks really nice. So again, great colour, but not for this particular kitchen. And the final one that we thought we were going to go with, after we realised we wouldn't go with the reed green, is this. This is called Muscle. And hopefully you can see, it's still like a light kind of neutrally cream, but it's got a little bit more warmth in the undertone, a little bit more brown. So it's almost a beige, but kind of not. But it's also not a buttery yellow cream colour, which is kind of what we've got here. They're almost like a yellowy butter colour, and I think that looks quite aged. So this one's really, we think, the one we're going to go for. It's really neutral, but it's still got a bit of warmth to it. It looks good in the darker parts of the kitchen and the lighter parts of the kitchen, and really lovely with this kind of detailing. So this is what we've decided to go with for all of the kitchen doors. So the big pantry doors, all of the doors that will go around the bottom here, and obviously the front of the integrated dishwasher. And the drawers inside all of those door cabinets and pantry, the pantries will be this, which is a natural Lancaster oak. I think this is a laminate, this isn't real solid wood, but these are solid wood. So this is the colour combo we're going to go for. Now, it's not really in our nature, like you know, to go super boring, and not boring, but like kind of plain. We usually like trying to add a little bit of some kind of like bold flair to it, to every room that we're doing. So going neutral on the doors means that we can go a little bit more, I don't know, country on some of the other pieces. We are going to look to do a stone wall, and we're going to have some shelving on, not on this wall, one of the other walls will be stone. We'll look to do some shelving on these walls, and then, but we will basically still have, even though we're going to change the cooker for a freestanding one, it's going to go in this exact spot, and the range hood is going to be covered, but it will stay in that spot. So you're basically going to keep this kind of area, although to the left and right of it won't be cabinets, there'll be shelves. So I was thinking, I was looking at, I don't even know how I saw it. I must have gotten Car Pietra Instagram ads shown to me, because I think we watched an influencer, and you know how your phone just listens to you now. So it was showing me on Instagram, and they have this new collection called Nonna's Kitchen, which is like studio tiles, kind of like old school Italian, not obviously Italian, none of that's none of it is Italian, but like old like Sardinian kind of like gorge cute house. And there was a really cute one, we'll put a screenshot in, which is called like Floral or something, Floreal, which is kind of like sage leaves that go through. I was like, that could look really cool, and especially if we went with a neutral cabinetry tone. But then, and I sent off for a sample of that, but unfortunately it's out of stock. But the other one that I really liked, you can't really see much here. It's just a plain kind of white glossy tile, and it's got this little like motif in the corner. So on that tile it would have it on all four corners. Obviously this is just a quarter cut of the tile for the sample. And that kind of style is called Delft. And actually there's quite a lot of companies in the UK that make, Delft is like originally, I think it's like from Holland, so there's lots of like flowers or windmills or kind of scenes. But they have like a Cornish Delft, which has you know, some of like the scenery from like Cornwall. There's also a Cotswold Delft. There's lots of different like types of Delft, but it's basically this hand painted baked tile in a blue colour. And this is a really good example. This is from the Carpietra catalogue. So you can see here, you can get like the plain white, you can get the corners. On this one I love, because the corners are oak leaves, and I just think that looks amazing. I also love the oak leaf, and then you have kind of, they make up kind of the bulk of the area, as you can see in here. And then you have these kind of accents that have these motifs or illustrations on. So I love the oak one, and I also love the squirrel and the hare. But the ones that I love the most are the chickens. And then I don't know how I kind of moved from that to those old school, like really country kitchens that have like a blue tile feature wall. And there's one here, hopefully Cole can pop in, this and it's like a Portuguese style, so I've gone from Italian to English to Portuguese. And they have this kind of like cockerel that's almost a mosaic, so it's made up of like 6 to 9 or 12 tiles stitched together. And then you can add borders around them, or you can add like a raised kind of border, or you can have a patterned border. So we're now deep in the rabbit hole around blue chicken Delft tiles, either in a panel or in like the checkerboard style like I showed you in here. And what we're thinking is that could look really pretty in this area. Now, the ones that we'd really like are way too statement. I think they're more for like big kitchens, and I mean everything we want is for a big kitchen. We're trying to make it work on a small scale and a small budget. Even the 6 or the 9 panel tiles are like £300–400, which is a lot of money, and I think it could be quite polarizing. More purple?
Yeah.
More ice cream?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it could be quite polarizing for like when we sell it, and it's not something you want to put up just so when you're here and then like chip off, because it's a lot of money. And you can't guarantee when you remove the tiles you're going to keep them whole. So we are looking at that at the moment. We're thinking about how we can. Do you want to say hi?
Hi.
Hi. All right, we're looking at how we can maybe think about doing something there. I'm still waiting for the other Carpietra tile sample to come, but this kind of gives like a good indication, and that is the benefit of going live, is that we can add that blue in. Oh, say hi. Can you see yourself? Say hi, Sunny. Hi. Okay, let's get you a purple. Okay, gotta go. Gotta get my ice cream.
I've just come to this section here, so I need to cut a piece that fits down the side there and then has a little groove for the windowsill, and then the rest can continue along the bottom. So I'm just doing some measuring. I didn't buy any extra material, so I really hope I don't stuff this up. Fingers crossed. I ended up changing my approach slightly. There were just too many too many possibilities for error, so do it this way. And oh, that's bang on. Awesome. I've now got all the panels on around the bottom, and all of the MDF is up. I've just gone around and patched up the holes. I'll sand those off so that we can get started on priming. The lids, I'm not going to attach until they've been painted because it's just so much easier to paint them while they're off. Obviously the skirting board will go on, so we don't need to paint all the way to the bottom, just almost all the way. And I will tidy up the screws and things on this bottom piece as well before we start painting. Hoping to get at least one coat done tonight. 6:30 now, so should be able to do that. So I just need to get the primer on so that will dry, but it's pretty fast drying primer. It only takes about half an hour. Soph's just doing the first coat of primer with the smallest paintbrush in the world.
Literally. I was like, you start over there. I've got like a fucking toothpick to do it with.
We're short on brushes.
We're here to do a pottery class. My sisters and I bought my mum a gift for your birthday. And we bought 2 tickets and mum's given me the second one. So we're at this place called Your Pottery Barn and we're going to make something. Out here are the collections, people that did it previously are obviously coming to collect, so it has to be fired. But it's so cute. This is in a place that my sister used to do horse riding, but they've obviously turned it into this cool thing. Let me show you around.
So last night we did the first coat of paint, and the first coat always looks obviously very patchy. We love the colour. I'm not sure if it's really showing through in the camera very well, but we're absolutely in love with it. Actually, if I come over here, you can see just here, I've done 2 coats just on that little patch there. The skirting has arrived. Thank goodness we're getting some good weather. Rain would really be holding me up. So for these corners here, I have got a different kind of trim. It's a corner trim, but this one's actually got some nice beading in it. So that should match the MDF on the wall quite nicely. So I've cut them to size, I'll paint them while they're off the unit, and then once the skirting has gone along the bottoms, I'll just stick this on the corner, and that will cover that up.
Look, it has different pajamas.
So the dining nook is pretty much finished, and I'm about to show you what it looks like. But before I do, there are a couple of things I want to point out. There's some skirting that still needs to go up on the wall. We need to put in some lighting, style it with some artwork. Soph's mum is making the bench seat cushion for us, along with the blind. So a few things to look forward to in future videos. Now I'm not sure if you remember, a couple of videos ago I'd shown you 4 solid oak carver chairs that we picked up on the marketplace for around about £100. I have redone those, so they were structurally pretty good, they just needed a bit of a freshen up. So I stripped them back, glued up a few things that needed fixing, I re-stained them, re-oiled them, and then I applied some beeswax. We then removed the upholstery and replaced it with some new stuff that we chose from John Lewis, and that is the same upholstery that we're using on the bench seat cushions. So I'll show you the chairs when I show you the nook in just a moment. After that, Soph's going to talk to you about the blind material and a few other things. But for now, let's check this nook out.
We're sitting here for the first time ever at our new dining, well, not at this dining table, but in this room with this banquette, having a drink on a Friday afternoon. And we just looked out, we've never sat here before. We just looked out the window, the kitchen window, and look at that amazing view, it's insane. It was one of the reasons we loved this house when we first came, but I don't know, it's just so pretty. It makes us think like what an amazing place we live. And the other thing that makes us think what an amazing place we live is that there is this bird of prey, like a wild bird of prey, called a red kite that has been, obviously lives here, but I saw it a few weeks ago with my dad. And then yesterday I saw it, actually 2 days ago I saw it again. There's a field here, I don't know what's in the field, but she or he must love it. It's the most majestic thing I've ever seen. Cole's gonna put a video or a photo of what a red kite looks like. It's like an actual eagle. It's absolutely huge. And yesterday morning I was hanging the washing up and I was like, oh my God, the red kite's back. Like, it's so close. The weather's been so, like, there's been hardly any clouds in the sky, so you can literally see it. And then there were two. Like, there must be like a nest. And I was just so obsessed with it. Like, it made me feel so excited that there was like this amazing family of birds of prey. Anyway, I told Cole and he basically told me that that's an absolute sign that I've gotten old. He showed me a meme, which perhaps you'll put in the video too, which is just basically like, you can go through your whole life never really noticing birds, and then at a certain point you're just like, oh my God, the birds. And I feel that way about this red kite. I've even named it. It's Rebecca the red kite. It's definitely a female because it's just so like majestic. And then I drove up the driveway today, randomly, got out, first thing I saw was Rebecca the red kite. And now I'm just quite obsessed with it. But this is the most amazing place to be able to look out this way, that way, and look out for Rebecca. Feeling very lucky. So just a tip, Cole and I used to own a floristry, and we used to go and get like roses and stuff from the flower markets. Anyway, flowers in England are so much cheaper than when we lived in Melbourne. And quite often in John Lewis or Waitrose, they will have flowers that go off, like total quote marks, that day. And they're like literally half price. So I got these roses plus 3 more stems that I've put in a separate pot for £4.80. But there's always like going off flowers in supermarkets, and it's sometimes like they actually are going off and you shouldn't get them. But I just wanted to say, if you are ever in a supermarket and you want to see if it's worth getting the going off flowers, a really good tip is to see how firm the rose heads are. Like, these are so full of petals and they're huge heads and they're really firm. And I think, yeah, you must have gotten like at least 12 stems. Sometimes they're really skinny and tiny, and if you push them together, there's like nothing, which is like not worth purchasing. But these ones almost look like, they're not like peonies, but they're so roughly, there's so many more petals to open. So even if the outside petals are like a bit brown, it's fine. You just pull those ones off and you've still got so much, like they're so big if I squeeze them. So next time you're in the supermarket and there's some going off flowers, or only with roses, don't go and just squeeze like lilies and stuff. Feeling in like a chatty mood, maybe because of the gin. But this cushion, I think 2 videos ago, there was some footage of us in John Lewis looking around when we were getting the samples of some fabric for the ton chairs. Was that this video?
No, that was on my other channel.
Oh, that was on Flipping Nation.
But it might be on this video.
Shameless plug to look at that. And we had done nothing in this room at all. We had our vision and our ideas, but nothing had happened. And I saw this cushion in John Lewis. It's a John Lewis by Sanderson cushion. And I just thought, I've been watching a lot of interior design videos, as you know, and sometimes interior designers are like, you find like a single piece, like a painting or a cushion or a fabric, and you kind of build everything around it. And I was like, this is my single piece. So this cushion, everything that we're doing in here is kind of like fed off of this. So we knew we wanted to do this dark, kind of like ganache, earthy green colour.
Green?
Sorry, earthy red colour. But we wanted it to match the green. And I just think it looks, what are these?
The other outdoor cushions that are behind you.
Cushions is all we've got for now. It looks like a Victorian lollipop that gets to it, next to it. I just think it's so pretty. And I'm going to get another, but they're quite expensive. This was £55. But if it's like a statement piece, I think it's fine. The rest of the cushions I'll probably get off Vinted or like TK Maxx. And we wanted the blind fabric to really match in with this. But it's just, I think it just looks so nice together. And so I wanted to talk about this sand.
Oh, do you want to talk about the blind fabric after all the feedback?
Oh yeah, I mean, not one single person said John's. Like, not a single. It was 100% Terry's. So if we're going with Terry's.
We are going, oh look, here we've got it. Just got it on hand here.
So to confirm.
It's a winner.
It's a winner. Do you want to show them that I tried to put an extra one in last minute?
Oh yes, you did try and come with another one.
So I don't love it, even though I think it's the right one. I don't love it. And I'd seen this other one and I was like, oh, once we see this other one, that'll be the decision made. This fabric is double the price, although my mum found it on eBay for half the price, but it's not very good lengths. Anyway, it's a fully embroidered fabric. It's so expensive to get a sample of. I just didn't get enough width to show you, but obviously, like, I can kind of do like this kind of or something. Yeah, I mean, I can't do a good job, but basically it's like a little bit like a heritage fabric style. It's embroidered and it's got the green and it's got the brown, and I love that it's got a bit of blue because we are going to bring some blue into the kitchen. And I also like this on this neutral background because with the chairs, this is basically the same the same background fabric as the chairs are. So I like it so much. I think it looks really nice, and my mum really likes it. But then I showed it to my best friend, and she was like, "Did Sunny draw that?" So
it is actually a very nice material, and
it's really nice.
I would
material.
have it in the house.
I love the embroidery, and actually, I think perhaps for some cushions, great.
Just not in here. Sadly, Terry's takes the cake on the.
Yeah, this is the only time ever I think
dining
your
nook.
opinions.
Really?
One? I mean, I'd let you have something that I think.
I chose this paint colour.
I liked it. It wasn't like I hated it and you picked it.
Oh.
It's kind of like how I felt like that fabric.
Oh, because I only won because of the YouTube support.
Yeah. Yeah, how can I say no when 100% of people say it's Terry's?
Yes, it's nothing to do with my decision, it's their decision.
It's not Terry's, it's mine, yeah. So we'll be going with Terry's. Mum's going to make this blind. Sorry, just to clarify as well, Mum said it to me. When I said about the fabric and the blind, I was saying about how it's quite expensive. Mum was like, it sounded like you said I was going to help you.
Oh, because you did. You said Mum will help. Hopefully, Mum will help.
I should clarify. My mum's a seamstress. She's made quite a few blinds for our house and lots of blinds for friends and family. Curtains. They used to have a business called So What, So Anything. That's what, with my other friend's mum. So she does all of that stuff for us. So that's what I meant when I said Mum will help us. As in, Mum's going to make the blind, not Mum's going to pay for the blind. Although, Mum, feel free to pay for the blind.
I would love to hear what you think of this creation, so please let us know in the comments.
It's like it's my work. I put so much time and effort into it.
You did.
Yeah, thank you so much for watching. This is we've done like a handful of videos now, and we just love the support. Everyone gives us really lovely comments and gives us tips for the next things that we do. And we've got lots and lots more to do on the house, and we would love to get up to 1,000 subscribers. So if you liked it, if you enjoyed it, then please, what did they say? Like, share and subscribe. At the end of the wiggles, what did they say?
At the end of the wiggles?
Yeah, they always want you to subscribe. So they say, like, comment or subscribe. Subscribe.
See you next week.